Hello friends, Spence here, VP of Sales and Marketing from Meridian Medical USA. I'm here with Josh Cohen of Cohen Laser Vision Center, and he is our, as I mentioned before, our very first customer in the United States market. He purchased the laser back in March, and so we wanted to spend some time with him to see exactly how his experience has been and what exactly has been going on with him and the MRQ-SLT. So again, Dr. Cohen, thanks a lot for seeing us today.
Thanks, Spence. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it. So let's go and start off by asking, how's the practice working right now in terms of YAG and SLT, and what's the use of this laser at Cohen Laser Vision Center?
Sure. So, we are a comprehensive eye practice, eye care center, and we offer a lot of interventional options for refractive surgery, LASIK, cataract surgery, lens exchange, as well as ICL. And I think that the trend in ophthalmology is kind of bringing things in-house as opposed to going to the surgery center for everything and a lot of things that we used to do. I think that the trends are moving in that direction. So it kind of makes sense to kind of offer, technologies and interventions earlier in diagnosis, earlier in the treatment paradigm. And SLT has kind of emerged as this time-tested, great option for patients with open angle glaucoma or ocular hypertension, for patients who either are questionably compliant on their drop regimen, patients early in their treatment diagnosis where they feel like they don't necessarily want to be burdened with daily drops, as well as patients who have shown irritation or toxicity from beyond medications, year over year, especially affecting the ocular surface, dry eye disease, something that we treat every day here at Cohen Laser as well. So bringing SLT in-house was kind of the natural step. And for years, we had kind of been rolling on and rolling off SLT solutions, basically on a monthly basis. We were kind of having to coordinate around patient schedules. And with a mobile unit, we run into some challenges, from time to time. Either we can't get the, patients to come in when the laser is scheduled to come, or sometimes just by virtue of moving machines around, you get little malfunctions now and again. So we just kind of wanted to find a newer state-of-the-art solution. And when I found out about Meridian's FDA approval, I was like, well, this might be right in our wheelhouse. It kind of offers, everything that we're looking for in providing the most advanced laser systems available. Again, YAG and SLT, as well as eczema and refractive lasers. So, it kind of just is very much on brand with what we want to offer our patients.
Well, great. Well, so you chose the MRQ-SLT, so I want to thank you for being like the first guy through the wall. And so you've had it for about 6 months. I know the first couple months you were just kind of ramping up, getting used to the system. You actually helped us advance and upgrade the headrest for a better surgeon and patient experience. So thanks for that as well, jumping in and helping us out with that. But so kind of just give us the story of what your experience has been with the MRQ-SLT.
So it's been great. There definitely have been some, as you mentioned, in the early iterations, we had some ergonomic issues with the headrest, and that's been resolved in spades. Everything is perfect now. The kind of, wide stance of the table is great. We can move patients in and out. And the quality of the slit lamp is excellent too. And we even have kind of the split beam with the external camera. So for patients who might be in wheelchairs, we can now move them into our little laser room here and do even a preliminary exam on them without having to move them in. And that was not the case with our old, YAG laser that we had. So the slit lamp is just far and away excellent. And as I mentioned, the ergonomics are fantastic as well. The adjustable height, patients really feel comfortable, getting their treatments done, whether it's YAG or SLT. Now, I think that what really kind of sold me on this machine was the coaxial illumination.
I was just about to ask about that. Yeah, it was important to you.
We wanted because, again, with a lot of multifocal lenses in practice, sometimes the optics are a little different with that eternal reflectivity of the lenses. So having kind of on-beam orientation is nice. Plus the flexibility to move off axis like we do traditionally is also great as well. So you have that flexibility. And again, just the alignment of the laser, like the optics are real crisp, which is really important. And I found that we're able to get similar results with much less energy because I think that the efficiency of the laser mechanics are really good on this machine. So, we're able to get full treatments. Obviously, we still use kind of 1 millijoule, typically when we're doing SLT. But I found that I can dial down, particularly with dip and pigmentary levels within the patient's trabecular meshwork, and get good kind of that, cavitating bubble appearance, even at lower levels of energy, which is great. And that just kind of improves patient comfort afterwards. And especially with the YAG, I'm noticing that as well too. I can kind of with a, moderate amount of PCO, I can kind of get good, with just a few clicks at, maybe 1.5 millijoules, really low energy for YAG, which has been really great.
Now, in terms of transitioning from a roll on, roll off to having a resident laser, have you seen the opportunity to actually treat more patients more often and in a more efficient manner? Is that part of kind of the reason as you acquired this? Has that been achieved, I guess?
It has, yeah. I think that it's really kind of allowed us to, at point of service, be like, hey, this is where you're at in your treatment. You now have opportunities for some interventional glaucoma.
Sure.
Or patients come back for cataracts. They're here for their maybe 1 month or 3 month dilated exam, and it's like, hey, maybe a YAG is ready to go. And obviously, we've had a YAG before, but again, having both options, at the same time, has been super efficient and very helpful for patients. So for those quick turnarounds where we just want to get them treated and get them on their way without another appointment visit, it's great to have it in office. And I think patients have really appreciated that convenience.
Yeah, and I can see not only your practice, but others who've also evaluated and trialed the MRQ, having that flexibility. If you have a day where you're doing YAG and SLT, you can go back and forth pretty easily with this laser, and it really has allowed the clinic flow, which is part of the patient experience. It seems to really achieve a really great advantage for not only the patient but also for the clinic as well.
Yeah, and I think switching between the lasers has been seamless with this machine, and the touch interface is really good too. I feel like it's very intuitive. It almost has kind of like an Apple type interface.
Sure.
The touch screen is very sensitive. I'm not really getting any false hits. I know exactly, because the display is so big, where I'm at. There are other technologies that other competitors might have some in ocular data and things like that, but I found that it's not really needed because of the visibility on the screen, which is good. And I think that this offers really everything else that the top of the line machines offer.
Okay, well, in terms of you can mention interventional glaucoma and use of the SLT in a primarily premium cataract refractive setting that you have here. That's actually part of, I guess, the new movement. And you're obviously a younger generation surgeon that's really kind of in that same mode. So if you were to recommend the MRQ-SLT to some of your colleagues and other practices throughout the country, what would be your recommendation in terms of your utilization and what it can do for them and their practices?
Yeah, I think that, this was our first in-house SLT, right? So we kind of had to run some projections and estimates as what type of patient volume and revenue we might be able to get from the machine in terms of kind of a payoff schedule. But I think that this machine offers, again, excellent ergonomics, great optics. You're gaining a slit lamp. So you have like an extra half a lane, depending on where you put it and where you incorporated it in your workflow. And the convenience of a combined system is obviously, it speaks for itself. I think that the MRQ specifically kind of, offers all-in-one package. It offers coaxial illumination. You can get an imaging camera system if you want, for a price that I think is very competitive for what you're getting. You're getting Swiss engineering, you're getting top-of-the-line mechanics and internals. And again, from really the actual treatment from day one has been seamless. The only hiccup was with the headrest, and that's been addressed now. So, I can definitely wholeheartedly recommend the SLT as anyone who's looking to bring interventional glaucoma in their practice and might want something that, based on, making a one-time cost commitment, knows that it will not only pay for itself in spades as time goes on, but you're going to be offering convenience to patients. You're going to be offering good interventional glaucoma results earlier in their treatment course. And that's going to be better for the patient long-term because they're not dealing with drops as often, or they're cutting down on the frequency or number of drops, which is great. So SLT, I think, like as a treatment has kind of, come a long way in becoming really a standard of care, I think, for any modern private ophthalmology practice. And I think that, if you're considering this machine as I have with other competitors, I think that the package and the quality of this device is really unmatched. It's been great.
Well, there you have it, folks. Dr. Josh Cohen, straight from his own words, based on his 6 months of experience with the MRQ-SLT. We want to thank him and his team for giving us an opportunity to offer this technology as the first practice in the United States in this market to really give us a chance, and we hope more of you follow his lead. So, Dr. Cohen, thanks so much for your time.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Take care. Have a good day, everyone. See you next time.